I'm assuming this is the making of?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
It's good to know.
So this is the first episode of Ren in many years. We had to recast our lead actors. We had to bring back old actors. We had to recreate some of the sets from 10 years ago and create new ones. And so let's delve a little bit into the challenges of what it takes to bring action and day for night and all these actors together to create that first episode of Ren Season 2.
Season 2!
Why not become a marked one and join our Patreon community? There you can binge the whole series ad-free. Plus, you'll be helping us to make Season 3. Thank you!
When Neil came to me at the end of 2022 and tentatively was like, Ren's just sort of not gone anywhere, and it's such a shame, and I've been thinking about it, and I've got all these ideas. How would you feel if I took the reins? I kind of jumped at it. I really wanted to see it continue. I knew I didn't quite have the energy to keep pushing that train myself. And so having someone else with sort of a fresh look take over those reins was wonderful.
This is my home. I won't run from it. Damn it, I'm going to get yourself killed.
So when casting Ren for the second season, we knew we were going to have to replace Ren because Sophie had gone amazingly well after she appeared in the first season with Outlander and various other films and things. It turned out we were going to have to recast Hunter as well. I think in a way, maybe that made it easier because I kind of did what I did on the first round of auditions. We auditioned people separately, and then we brought them together. And having Ren and Hunter together was really good.
Baneham's probably stolen everything Kah'Nath by now.
Man, where'd he learn to rub like that? Little scoundrel.
We didn't want our actors to try and be Sophie as Ren or be Duran as Hunter. We were looking again at what the characters represented, what the characters needed, and then what the actors could bring as their own little take onto that. And I think we found some amazing actors in Ori and Alex. Just in love with them as the new Ren and Hunter, and I hope you guys are too.
We are shooting the very first scene of Ren Season 2 with horses. Woo!
So we really wanted to start Season 2 with a bit of a bang, with some action. So we had a couple of days with real horses and some amazing riders who stood in for all of our actors. That was literally our first couple of days on the shoot, was straight in there with real horses out in the woods. Also shooting day for night, because we couldn't shoot the horses at night at all, so it's all meant to be at night. And then we spent 2 days after that with our actors, our main actors, Ori and Alex, sitting on basically a big rubber tire as a fake horse, jiggling around in the middle of a warehouse with a blue screen behind them, trying to recreate what we'd seen the day before. And then, Ren uses her powers again in quite a much more dramatic way than we'd seen before. This was a very jigsaw puzzle shot. We shot Ori and doing her thing separately. The horse rearing was a whole separate thing on the days when we had the real horse. We had Tom leaping off crash mats on a blue screen. Ren having to use her powers in that moment is such a pivotal thing, both for her and Hunter, and all the consequences that follow. Basically, it leads her to sort of wondering, what are these powers? Look what I just did. And that really sort of feeds through into the whole rest of this season and takes her on that quest. It's the reason for the quest, in a way, to find the Archivist. For the second season, we needed to see Khan's house again, but not from the inside like in season 1. We needed the outside of it. We'd never established what the outside looked like, but in my head it was always this sort of hidden away little place that was sort of tucked into a rock formation, and then there's a cave that had been sort of like adapted into a house. We only needed it for almost one shot. And we did look around at actual locations, found some rocky sort of formations, nowhere near Cambridgeshire where we were filming, unfortunately. We talked with Rose about it, and she actually got quite excited about the idea of building a miniature, and that would give us the freedom to create it kind of however we wanted. The detail in it, you won't get to see. It's just such a shame. They're tiny, tiny little mushrooms that are like literal pinheads in the thing, and all this sort of stuff. It's wonderful. And then we spent a day pumping smoke through it to kind of create the fire effects. And there was a little toy Lego train that was moving towards it with the camera on it. It's the amount of work that went into just that one shot is kind of crazy. One of the most challenging scenes to do in this first episode was actually Tarek's Mill, which is this beautiful scene between Ren and Hunter. It starts to bring them together, from two people who were thrown together to two people who actually sort of start to understand each other a bit more and share in loss, really.
We were meant to meet here when it was all over. Tarek's Mill.
So we have this beautiful scene. We rigged it up to shoot it at night. And then, as we're gearing up to film this very touching scene, a concert starts playing in the background, and it goes for the rest of the night.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
We all had to just cope with it. And to be honest, the people who cope with it the best are obviously our wonderful actors. Alex and Ori doing this very meaningful scene while the theme from Friends is playing in the background.
I'm sorry for what I said.
I still don't know quite how they managed to do that. So all of the sound that you hear for that scene is redone in post-production, and it's a beautiful scene, and but it was quite a challenge to do, not gonna lie. Obviously we had a new Ren and Hunter, but some of our cast from season 1 were returning, which was wonderful, including the Commander, Richard Zeman, who came all the way over from Canada again to come and be Commander Othon, who now has a name. And now the Master comes in. And also, you'd be interested to know that the voice of the Master became the actual Master, something he might regret. Brian came in to dress up as the Master in an outfit that is incredibly heavy. There's so many layers, it's very hot, you've obviously got the mask on. So he was an absolute trooper to come in and do that. And it was so wonderful to have these two characters together again. And actually, instead of me reading lines off camera, which happened a lot in season 1, in season 2, we actually had the voice of the Master coming out of the mask. And it was really, really lovely.
You are marked by your failure.
We had this scene outside of Lingarth, and we couldn't build the whole village again from scratch because that was literally a whole season 1 thing. So what we were able to do was we recreated a bit of the palisades that sort of like mark the gates of Lingarth. Then we were able to take some of the footage from season 1 and put it into the background. So a path became the outside of Lingarth.
Cool! I think that's a wrap on episode 1!
Will they find the Archivist? Will the Commander catch up to them? Who knows? If you don't want to wait a whole week for the next episode, then head on over to our Patreon, where you can binge the entire second season ad-free right now. And if you want to know more about how we made the show, check out all the behind the scenes, including this one where I talk all about how we did the horse chase in episode 1.